If you recall, it was Florida State 4, as in games. Miami, none. Take your ass kicking. That's what you did last year, Miami. Took a ass kicking repeatedly. And we'd hope to think that it happens yet again. Let's extend the ass kickingness on into the weekend. And you start it tonight with a matchup that should be incredible. Parker Messick goes for the Noles. He's been great, 6-2, 2.56. You know that. You've seen Parker Messick all year long. Carson Palmquist is a really good pitcher for Miami as well, 7-3, 2.95. This is where you get it on. This is what yes. I have been anxiously awaiting this series. More, we'll get into it, but I'm a little pumped today. I'm excited about a big-time rivalry series with a lot on the line. And the vitriol, it's real. They hate us. We hate them with a passion.
Stick them in your mouth and suck them.
Indeed. That level of ownership a year ago, woo! That was a special day in the sun.
Stick them in your mouth and suck them.
When you think about it, it's kind of one of the reasons that, listen, I think there is competing groups surrounding Florida State baseball at all times. But one of the things certainly that keeps frustrated fans at bay is going 4-0 against Miami, which is what Mike Martin Jr. and Florida State did a year ago. So we shall see. I expect this series to be very, very good, as everybody would. Florida State is 30-17, 13-11 in the ACC. Miami's ranked in the top 10. Depends on the poll you want to look at to choose the number. They're 36-12, 17-7 in the ACC. It's a big series. And I would hope that, and I suspect that atmosphere, if we don't get rained out tonight, will be phenomenal. I know that Miami comes into this in the RPI at 6. And, again, the amount of the percentage points separating where Florida State sits at 17 in the RPI and moving into the top 12 or 8, it's not much. A series sweep this weekend, and that's a lofty goal. I'll take 2 out of 3. But a series sweep this weekend, I think, vaults Florida State to be where they need to be. I mean, I think we would feel really good about what we're looking at in the postseason.
Yeah, they'd be in the single digits in the RPI if you get a sweep. If you take 2 out of 3, you're probably in the top dozen.
Oh, yeah.
I would say that's a separator there. And then again, you've got Gainesville on Tuesday for the Gators, and their RPI is robust. And you've also got
13th.
North Carolina, who's top 30 as of midweek. I don't know if that changed last night or something, but North Carolina.
29th.
There it is. Yeah. So tons of opportunities here to bolster the resume. That is 7 critical games. Win 4 of them. I mean, you can get greedy and win 5, but if you win at least 4 of those, you should be in prime position to host a regional heading into the ACC baseball tournament. And that's all you can ask for at this point.
just now checked in on the chat just to say hello to everybody. And I didn't. Jimmy writes, love your show, Jeff. Thanks, Jimmy. I heard a rumor that Destin Hill will be enrolling this summer at FSU. That'd be huge. Go Noles. Jimmy, that'd be great, buddy. That'd be great. I don't know. I mean,
they continue to say whether or not they believe it. Believe you can only know if it's yourself. But they continue to say over there at the football offices that indeed Destin Hill will arrive and enroll and take up a scholarship as of this summer. We get questions on it every day across all formats of Warchant.com and Warchant TV. That's what they keep saying. So maybe it's true. I don't know if they believe it. I know we don't believe it, but he might actually be here. You never know.
Like a Libations Friday celebration, an embracement of the unicorn that is Destin Hill. Wow, what a way to start the day, man.
What if he's actually good, too? That's the other. It's like, it's great he's here. Is he actually good? You never know. It's been a long time since he played football.
You see guys these days, they keep themselves together, Tom. So, 32, 33 years old coming in here playing a little football, he should be fine. He should be all right. I'm sure he's kept himself tip-top. Maybe he's taking it to Orange Theory, working out on his own.
Yeah, for the kids out there, it'll be like the end of that Avengers series. Captain America comes back, job's done, but he's old. Like, what the hell? What are you doing
here?
How
that went? I didn't see. Yeah. I saw one Avengers thingy where they were all in it. Everybody was in it.
Yeah, I don't think you
Like
care.
Black Panther's in it.
You don't care about that's the Avengers. Yeah, they're all together. So you wouldn't care about a spoiler, right?
Oh, I
mean,
don't care anything about any of that stuff. What I'm saying is, really quickly, I want you to identify the one I saw.
All right.
So
I might not even be able to.
they're
I might
all
need
the
to
same
go
movie.
phone a Matthew here.
But they were all in it. I remember that. And there's a big fight scene with the bad guys. And it was like, I think at an airport, perhaps somebody turned on them that they thought was good. I believe it was William Hurt, who just recently died.
Oh, okay.
The actor.
Yeah.
I think he turned out to be a bad guy. They thought he was a good guy. And there's this Robert Downey Jr. Scene with him where they're having
that could be Civil War.
I think that's the one I saw.
I've actually not seen Civil War, so that's a guess based upon like the trailers.
People are saying, yeah, that's hilarious. I gave you the most nondescript. I gave you the most nondescript plot line, which is the plot line for every one of those. And they're like, people are like, that's Civil War.
Yeah.
Or any of the other Avenger movies.
Okay, but you've seen the first Captain America where he ends up, waking up 50 years later, however long it was.
Wasn't it
100 years later.
Does it start with him in like World War I or II?
Yeah.
On a boat?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I did.
Yeah, he's scrawny and then he gets big. That's what I'm saying. That's what the
I think I did see that one.
That's what the Bama table of Florida State needs to look like. We get a bunch of dudes like that, like maybe one of our centers goes in like that pipsqueak looking Captain America, then comes out fully roided up. That's what we need.
We've been saying this for so long, man.
So he had a love interest in that movie, and he basically was in whatever it was, like a glacier. He was frozen over. So she died, and he never got to be with her. Well, in the final scene, he comes back as an old man. Like, he goes at 35 years old, whatever Captain America is.
He dies.
They see him come back, and he's 80. They're like, what the hell, Captain? What did you do? He stayed in the past.
But he's still young, though, when he comes back. And now she's old.
No, he comes back. This is the last scene. This is the movie you haven't seen.
Okay.
So here's the total punchline. At the end, he goes back in time to fix whatever he needs to do, and he just stays there because his love interest is there waiting on him. So the payoff is like 7 movies long, and then there it is. Happy ending. Everybody weeps.
I see.
Roll credits.
So we had to go through 7 movies for this?
It was all about Captain America the whole time.
What's the one where the guy snaps his fingers and everybody dies?
That's the one before the final one. That's,
no, but is that the same thing? Is that
it's
Thanos?
Avengers.
Is that Thanos?
Yeah.
I have his name right? That's Josh Brolin.
I think that's Thanos. Yeah.
Thanos is Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin
Sometimes
is Thanos.
I get it confused with Darkseid, from DC.
I don't know.
Okay.
But Thanos is
yeah, it's Thanos.
Yeah, but Josh Brolin from No Country for Old Men.
Those memes are always great too. The Thanos memes.
Thanos memes?
Those are more useful than the movies. Yeah.
Man, every now and then you really get to immerse yourself in what it is we just love about sport. We talk sports every day here, and we meander, especially in this time of year. But Infinity War. What is Infinity War?
That's the one you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was something else I didn't know.
Oh, these are all movies.
I never saw Infinity War. It's like 6 hours long, isn't it?
They all are. They're like 2:45, 3 hours. Yeah.
So what was the point when Thanos snaps his fingers and everybody dies?
Yeah. Half the universe dies. It's the Great Purge. We're too crowded. Actually, you'd like Thanos. You'd get down with Thanos kind of genocide.
Well, I'm not down with genocide, but there is a universal fight for resources.
Right.
Yes, I agree.
You always talk about we're too crowded.
Well,
Thanos is like, the universe is way too crowded. I've tried. The only way to work is
on this subject, by the way. But yeah,
we got to wipe out half of them. We'll let fate decide. Here we go.
So fate's deciding. He's not deciding.
I think it's fate. I don't know.
Fate can't decide. So he's just like, yeah. And
once he gets all the stones, he's like, I can pull off this feat.
People go dusty.
Yeah. I don't feel so good. Gone.
Think about the people who were invested emotionally into the nerddom that is what we're talking about. Can you imagine the weepy-eyed nerds in the theater when all of a sudden Troy or I don't know who.
Spider-Man was one of the ones. I don't feel so good.
Yeah, when he disappears.
Yeah. So my brother-in-law took my nieces and nephews, not his children, his nieces and nephews. He took them to see that movie, and that was the end. And they were young enough where they're just, bawling. They're just, distraught. And he goes, what have I done? I picked the wrong whole series.
I would have
None of these movies end like this, except the one he took the kids to.
You're all dead. Thin the herd is right, Life Spectator. Thin the herd.
I think we could tint you in a post-prod and make you purple.
And I could be Thanos.
You could be the Thanos, yeah, with the tight end room.
The first one that would be dead would be Urban Meyer. I just like that. He'd just dust.
Oh, I was talking about
horrible human.
I was talking about processing, not the actual.
I'm talking about killing people.
Yeah, you were.
Get up out of
I'm
here.
talking about like tight end room for transfers or something.
Well, yeah. So if I have the magic crystals, then I put them all together.
The stones.
Sorry. So I put all the stones together, not the magic crystals, and I've got the purple one and the yellow one and the blue and the green one, and we put them all together, and then now I've got the magic powers. It's not to kill anybody. I could just exile you into the universe. I could just or in this case, I could go to the tight end room and be like, 5 of you are going to Troy. And that's how that would be.
And you'll kick ass.
Yeah, well,
you'll do well
I
in
don't
Troy.
know about that. I think they're marginal at Troy. But I'd be like, I'm
trying to make a happy ending.
You're going to UAB. There you go. Where you'll sit the bench behind better tight ends.
No, they'll kick ass.
That's where you're going. I'm sitting you down to FAU.
I'm telling you.
There you go.
Your pup never passed away. He's just on a farm somewhere where they found a great home for him.
Oh, my goodness gracious. All right. We're off to a good start. I'm excited about the series. Last night, we immersed ourselves in what makes sport great, not because we won the Lightning in overtime to force a Game 7, shifting the weight of the world on the backs of those players that don the Toronto Maple Leaf uniforms and the hopes of Canada. I understand that is the byproduct of a victory in that Game 6 that, frankly, I didn't think it looked like we were going to win at one point. But nonetheless, there is when you think you're jaded and you've seen it all and you're just kind of along for the ride, observing as opposed to investing. You have a game like that. It could be any sport. Like, people don't have to like hockey to relate to what I'm saying here. But whatever your favorite team is, whomever they are, when you've kind of grown to accept your fate, only to see them snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, the emotional reinvestment that occurs in that moment reminds you of how much you love sports and that it's not scripted. Individuals can make a difference. It can change like that. One guy can make a play. It can happen. And it's funny because I am jaded enough and old enough to oftentimes just be like, all right, well, we won back-to-back. So last night,
everybody was doing that. The second intermission, any Lightning fans like, well, it's been a run. We'll see what happens.
But how could you not? Jesus, that last 5 minutes of that period was ridiculous. It's just listless ass, not trying. I mean, all kinds of stuff.
They're dead-legged. I'd actually be surprised if they won tomorrow.
I'd be shocked if they won tomorrow, but they could. So the point would be that I'm watching, and Bryce walks out. He loves the Lightning, and so does Clark. My family loved the Tampa Bay Lightning. And one of the reasons is not just because we're from there and root for the Lightning and all things Tampa, but I have said this many times over, and I do it not to draw sympathy, but to commend the organization for what a wonderful organization they are. And they are in that community. They are everything that is right. They have the best owner in sport, you could argue, okay? So the point would be, when Clark was sick many moons ago now, and he's fine, they did so many nice things for us. Didn't have to. They just did. They were awesome. And my kids have never forgotten that, ever. And we go down to Tampa games and and Adam Laws is a member of that organization. I can't say enough great things about that young man. And well, he's a grown-ass man, but I call him a young man because he's quite a bit younger than me. I guess he's your age. So the point would be that, they have been so kind. So there is an emotional investment in them more than there is in most of my professional teams, right? Because I see it through Clark's eyes and through Bryce's eyes. So Bryce comes out last night. The game's late. Clark's asleep. He cares. He didn't care that much. It's a school night. But I let Bryce, he's at the age, I let him stay up. And I remember when I was 14, 13, wanting to stay up to watch Monday Night Football or whatever it was, especially if my team's on, and saying to, my stepdad or my dad, if I was at his house, can we watch this game together? Can I stay up for the second half? Whatever it is, right? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But you remember that feeling of how cool it was when there was a yes?
When I was a kid, Monday Night Football was at 9 p.m. for a short window of time. It was crazy. So my parents would let me stay up for the first quarter. And it was like, if I got the second quarter, it was a dream come true.
Yeah, you're just so pumped.
There was a period in the 90s where I think it was, if it wasn't 9 o'clock, it was like 8:45. It was something crazy on the East Coast.
Yeah. And so what's funny is last night he comes out and we're watching the third period together. And he says, basically, hey, look, do you think they're going to win here? And I was like, no, but let's watch and see what happens. And then we get the 5-on-3 with the 2 high sticking. One of those was complete nonsense, but anyhow. But point is, we score, tie it up. So the third period ends, and he's like, he just looks at me because he knows it's well past his bedtime.
Right.
I'm like, all right, man, I'm not going to make you go to bed for overtime. It's overtime.
Right. It's an elimination game,
it's
too.
Elimination
if it was game 1 or game 2, maybe.
Go to bed. I'll tell you who won in the morning. Yeah, but it's an elimination game, and he's been along for the ride for the back-to-back Stanley Cup wins, and he's invested. He's like, come on. I was like, all right, you can stay up with me.
Come on, Dad.
So it's just he and I last night watching that. Christy's in bed, Clark's in bed. It's just me and my firstborn, and there we are watching it, and he's like, we got this, and I'm like, what? No. Especially the first 5 minutes of overtime. I'm like, are you watching the same overtime I'm watching? They've got countless chances. And if it's not for Vasilevsky right now deciding to play like Vasilevsky finally, then we would be out of this. This game would be over if he's not standing on his head right now. No, he won't give up a goal. Dad, Vasilevsky, he's not going to give up a goal. I'm like, have you watched this series? He hasn't been great. So we're going back and forth. And he's sure we're going to win. I'm fairly certain we're going to lose. I mean, the longer it goes on, I'm like, man, we're dead-legged. They're hungrier.
There was basically a line and a half that was playing well. So the other 2.5 are Toronto. So
yeah,
out of every 4 hockey minutes, maybe a minute and a half, you have a chance to win.
Well,
which is not good.
Not good, no. And you could just watch the ebbs and flows and know which line is in. You wouldn't even have to see the names. You'd be like, this is in our zone for the entirety of this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a shift with the 4th liners and Cal Foot on defense out there. I'm going, these 30 seconds are critical. These are a critical 30 seconds.
Yeah, you're holding your breath. So then anyhow, point scores on the rebound, and I'm like, we're both celebrating. I'm like, off the bed, woo! We're both happy. And he's like, you didn't think we were gonna win. I saw it in your eyes. You never thought we were gonna win. I'm like, that's all the more reason I'm excited. They surprised me. There it is. And he's like, I knew we were gonna win. That's just the payoff for what I knew was gonna happen. It's like, okay, son. You haven't been around long enough to be hurt. You've watched the Bucks win the Super Bowl early in your life, and also you've just seen them go into the playoffs and win in the division. Like the first game he ever went to, Tom Brady leads the game-winning drive. That's for you got to be kidding me.
It's a
right?
different existence.
Yeah, it's a very different.
I had
existence.
Michael Husted and Eric Rett.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, you saw ass, just pure ass. So
like it's spring break or something.
my son knows nothing but winning. The thing he doesn't know is that Florida State is really better than we've shown for a long time. Like, he has vague memories of them not being good, then suddenly being good, barely, like he can barely, and then we've sucked ever since. It's like, he's like, Dad, we're pretty much always bad. Why do you get so mad when we lose? He said that to me last year after a loss. I was particularly frustrated. I don't remember which game it was. He's like, why do you still get mad? We lose all the time. I was like, you shut your mouth.
Yeah, well, if you take it from about 2001 to now, he's got a point.
Well,
there's an outlier, and the outlier isn't losing.
No, it's correct. I know, but it hurts. The truth hurts like that. Just rubbing it in. Come on, man. Don't say those things. Don't say those things. But it's awesome to have the kind of innocence to sit down and watch that and think, oh, we're going to win.
You're right, though. You recreate the butterflies in a way, because when you're chasing history, like, for example, the 2014 team, that was a fun FSU football team in that they kept defying the experts and our own selves in the first half of many of these games where I'm off them. Finally, you know what? They're going to get bit tonight. And it's like, no. For 3 months, the answer was no. And it started from the word go. It was the Oklahoma State game. It looked like a coronation in the first quarter of that football game. And then by the time you're in the middle of the third quarter, you're going, wait a minute. So this was supposed to be one big happy family celebrating. We're all going to infight now before this thing's over. And that was that whole season. It's not as fun to chase history as it is to win that first time. But in a way, it's almost like the Lightning died and rose again, like the Phoenix.
From the ashes.
That's right.
There they were.
That second intermission, you're like, oh, that's it. You know what? They blew another 2-0 lead. Oh, well.
They do.
They're tired, dead legs, played a lot of hockey. There's a game 7.
I'm going to answer this question, and we got to go to break, but it's Libations Friday, and it's loosey-goosey. Scott wants to know, and he says, good afternoon, guys. I'm rooting for the Lightning, but I have one question. Why are we not talking about the girls softball team that's playing amazing? Because they always play amazing. I have no interest in the ACC tournament that they're going to win.
So I had that on TV too last night. You got to have something because there's a lot of stoppages in hockey in the intermissions. One thing I found interesting was it's like the second or third inning, and they strike out Edenfield to end the threat. It's runner on second.
Yeah.
And the catcher spikes the softball into the ground like it's Gronk in the Super Bowl, runs out to the pitcher like the ball game is over. It's no score. It's Frank Beamer. Oh, hands in the sky. There's no score. I'm thinking, what in the world? And that's when I knew that an ass kicking was coming.
Well,
even though
it
got dicey in the seventh
Yeah.
inning. It got dicey. But that wasn't our starting pitcher's fault who came back in. But I found that really. So is that where we are? That just striking out a batter with a runner on second and 2 outs
We are that kind of juggernaut, Tom.
for other teams is spike the softball into the ground and chuck your helmet into the ground.
We're not quite Oklahoma, but we're close. They're tired of us. The ACC is about damn tired of Florida State softball just steady delivering ass kicking after ass kicking. Imagine how just loathsome it would be if this were Miami doing this to everybody and we were the ones on the other end going, these guys, good God, again? Every year they're loaded. All they do, just ass kicking after ass kicking. I'm tired of it. You know, I mean, that would be how you felt at some point. And I noticed it with the other teams. They're exactly like what you just described. Elated to have achieved something of measure, however minuscule, and out. We got one.
Right. Yeah. You should have seen it.
Yeah. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-SparkConstruction.com. We conquer all peaks. We fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark. TSparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
Applications, onboarding, payroll, termination. Business owners and managers, you know these are the processes that take away too much time from what you do best. But what if there was a locally owned, responsive solution that would charge you a fraction of the big national payroll companies? Sound too good to be true? It's not. North Florida Payroll Services is Tallahassee owned for nearly 15 years. And in that time, their prices have never changed. The reason North Florida Payroll Services can do that? Exceptional customer service that constantly evolves with the latest technology. From application to termination, for turnkey service for your payroll and HR services, trust a Tallahassee expert and save yourself time and money. North Florida Payroll Services. Online at northfloridapayroll.com.
Refreshing and simple. 2 words you don't hear many people use to describe their experience going through the process of getting a home loan. That's what puts the Hamilton Home Loans experience in a category all their own. If you're buying or refinancing a home, Hamilton Home Loans will provide a personalized mortgage experience that is dedicated to making the process refreshingly simple. It all begins with an initial consultation with an experienced Hamilton Home Loans advisor to find out what your goals are in order to find the right mortgage to suit your specific needs. Then, your personal home loan advisor will take you through all the steps from application, underwriting, approval, and closing, all the way to the front steps of your new home. Once you've experienced the Hamilton Home Loan process, you can be a customer for life and never have to pay lender fees again. For first responders, nurses, physician assistants, teachers, active and retired military, ask about the Hamilton for Heroes program. Personalized attention with your needs put first. Now that's refreshingly simple. Find out more at HamiltonHomeLoans.com. That's HamiltonHomeLoans.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 200719.
Matt, when you think of a successful Southern cookout, what do you think of first?
The food, of course.
The food, but you got to think about the food prep. And Hearth and Patio has thought about that with their awesome grills.
What kind of grills?
Fire Magic, Broil Master, Blaze Grills, Kamado Joe. Matt, they got it all.
Wow.
Custom outdoor kitchens. Create an outdoor cooking space.
You'll be the envy of your neighborhood.
You will be the envy of your neighborhood, and you'll make a lot of people jealous. That's because you called Hearth and Patio at 850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282. or you can visit Hearth and Patio online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com.
It's a backyard barbecue party. Leslie Holcomb's the number one more time.
850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282. The Hearth and Patio, they not only keep the home fires burning, Hearth and Patio will elevate your grilling game.
Nice.
Nice indeed.
Clean, renewable energy means fresher air, healthier residents, new green jobs, and a stronger, more resilient community. How we get there is up to you. Share your input today to help shape the Tallahassee of tomorrow. Take the Clean Energy Survey at talgov.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Jeff Cameron Show brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Every year when the schedules come out, the NFL schedules, that is, you gloss over and you decide for yourself who you think has the toughest schedule. Invariably, that some teams that you expected who were on the schedule to be very difficult fall off a cliff, turn out to be an easy win. Others that you thought would be a surefire victory turn out to be the surprise of the season, win 10 games, and make the playoffs after having won just 5 the previous year. So it's hard to rank from top to bottom who it was that had the worst luck regarding schedules. But I think, objectively speaking, are they out to just screw the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Good God. That schedule's brutal. Look at the first 4 weeks.
That's interesting. I didn't take that away.
Well, the win percentages from a year ago do. The Bucs are top 5 hardest schedule in the league, and just about everybody's.
That's true. That was always going to happen, though.
Yeah, well, if you go through and look at the schedule the way it lays out, I mean, anytime that you have to play Kansas City, you have to play Dallas, you have to play the Rams, you have to play Baltimore. Yeah, I mean, we can go on and on. It's pretty ruthless.
I think they did us a favor, though, down the stretch.
Let me just really quickly, sorry, it's my fault, but let me just do this for everybody. On the schedule for the Bucs, Rams, Bengals, Packers, Chiefs, Seahawks, Ravens, Cardinals, 49ers, Steelers, Cowboys. I mean, that if I just stop there, that's insane. Now, you're going to have your division, so of course you're going to end up having the Saints, which we don't beat in the regular season period. Yes, you get easy wins against the Falcons and Carolina, but that's the only respite.
Yeah, I saw that it looked like Kansas City was the group that got the most screwed. The first 7 or 8 weeks.
The Rams and Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City plays it's either the first 7 games or 8 games, whatever it is. Every team is over 500 from last year, and every team has a quarterback, because that's the thing where you look at it.
This straight quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's where looking at the schedule is actually better if you're trying to project. Is it a problematic quarterback situation? Yes or no? Because that's more predictive than they've got a good team. You never know. There could be a segment group that was awesome last year that's going to be terrible this year.
That's why I say.
But if it's Rodgers, it's Rodgers.
Okay, so if I tell you that you're going to go at Cowboys, at Saints, Packers, Chiefs to start the year, that's ruthless.
You're just looking to go 2-2 there, and you're off and running. Yeah.
2-2. I mean, that's 4 weeks of what the hell are we doing here? Then you get the Falcons. Then you're at the Steelers, at the Panthers. Then you're home to the Ravens on a Thursday night, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Then you got the Rams, then the Seahawks. Then you're at the Browns in November after the bye week. Home on Monday Night Football to the Saints. Then you're at the 49ers. Home to the Bengals. Again, team that just played in the Super Bowl. And if I'm answering your quarterback question, we're doing a whole lot of yes here so far. At the Cardinals. And then home to the Panthers and at the Falcons.
Win-win at the end of the season. That's nice. Might be 3 in a row because who knows what the Kyler situation is going to look like in
hopefully
in
he's
Arizona.
hurt like he always is.
But I mean, yeah, it's Prescott in week 1. That's going to be tough. Jameis in week 2 should be able to handle that. Come on.
Well,
guys.
it doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. We don't play them well. Their defense dominates us and kills Brady and any other quarterback we have. So we'll see.
Rodgers, that'll be tough, but he hates playing in the state of Florida. He just gives up when he's in Jacksonville and in Tampa. He had a good first quarter against the Bucs a couple of years ago, but that didn't do anything afterwards. Yeah, that's going to be tough in week 4. You play Mahomes.
Yeah,
But Atlanta, Mariota, no. Pittsburgh, what, Pickett? Is it Pickett or Trubisky? No problem. Carolina, whatever, no problem. Baltimore, we'll see. That's a tough game. At least it's at home.
Yeah.
Rams, that's going to be a problem again. It's here. It's not on the West Coast. And then Seattle, whoever their guy is. Cleveland, Jameis, See what San Francisco is by that time. They're a weird team. They're streaky.
Yeah, but nobody would confuse that for an easy game. It's a road game in December in San Francisco against a team that you know is going to play defense. So, and their physical is all hell. They just went on the road and beat the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau in the playoffs. I mean, they're a difficult team.
The game I'm circling, if we don't have bowl issues, because we're going to a bowl this year,
also
is Cincinnati on the 18th.
Well,
that's the one I want to go to.
Well, me too, but you go 49ers, Bengals back to back. I mean, damn. I'm just saying there are stretches on the Bucs schedule where you're thinking this is ridiculous.
Win 11 games and you're going to win the division. 10, you probably win the division, but 11 for sure. So it's just the race to 11.
Yeah, but I'm not loving these days with everybody back in the fold going on the road for the playoffs. I'd like to host the playoffs. So that's where the schedule, you're like, this is kind of problematic. We'll see. It's always fun. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's dire. The Bucs have a top 5 strength of schedule. It's not close. I mean, you have both Super Bowl combatants, and you have the Chiefs to throw in there. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, the Cowboys on the road. Any game we play against the Saints is a tough one because we don't win the regular season games against the Saints. I'm about tired of that, by the way.
That's about to change, I think, for 1 year, and then we'll see after that because this is it.
Yeah.
Then we're starting from scratch all over again.
Well, again, if you draft well, you don't have to constantly start from scratch. You're always supplanting people with presumably people that are going to emerge as good players. If you get it right in the draft, and I thought they had a good draft, if you get it right in the draft and you just get a modicum of decent play from quarterback after Brady leaves, you don't have to suck.
Trask, Garoppolo,
oh, no,
where
it's
are we
not going
going?
to be Trask. But, I mean, you never know how free agency is going to play out. Who knows? I mean, we'll sit back and watch the tea leaves and decide if you go get a free agent quarterback or do you draft somebody. Obviously, last year's draft did not feature a quarterback that was worth a damn, in my estimation, other than I think Pickett has a chance. But anyhow, the point is, a year from now, who knows? If you're getting guys back that are Pro Bowl caliber players, say on the offensive line, and you have 2+ receivers, and then the defense is going to get older. We know that.
And more expensive.
Yeah. But I think that next year they'll draft a linebacker, obviously, that they think will have to replace Levante David. Every year when we go into the season, the younger guys are like, all right, I got to see what are you going to be in 3 or 4 years? Because we're already projecting.
Yeah, it's a big year for Tryon.
It's a huge, it's a big year to step up and see if he becomes a little bit more well-rounded of a player. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
The Florida Highway Patrol says 2 people were seriously injured in a crash Thursday evening on Coastal Highway. The crash happened around 6:07 p.m. and involved 2 vehicles, a Ford and a Toyota. According to the FHP, both drivers are Wakulla County residents. The driver of the Ford and the passenger in the Toyota were transported to TMH to get treatment for their injuries. The Coastal Highway is back open after it was closed for several hours. This is an ongoing investigation. The principal at Carter Paramore Academy in Gadsden County has been reassigned as the district investigates an incident caught on video where Dr. Willie Jackson is seen pulling a student from a table vehicle onto the floor and holding him down with his knee. The district safety coordinator is leading the investigation, which also involves the Florida Department of Children and Families and the Gadsden County Sheriff's Office. Administrators say they are not providing any details as the investigation is ongoing. Principal Willie Jackson has been reassigned to the district office during the investigation. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Cloudy skies this afternoon with scattered thunderstorms likely. Highs level off around 83. North winds around 5 miles per hour. Isolated thunderstorms again tonight. Lows dip down to about 64. Mainly clear skies and quiet. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Tomorrow, chance for isolated storms, 86. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 80.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
It's Congressman Michael Waltz on the Greg Tish Show.
Good morning, Congressman. How are you doing?
Hey, doing well.
Again, just what you have to go through day in and day out. I don't know how you have hair left, or like Matty Rowe, just completely bald.
Hey!
Sorry.
And the irony of it all, the progressives are the tail wagging the dog. This whole bipartisan White House is a joke. We're just watching them, eat their own.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is sponsored by the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. Great rates, cutting-edge technology, and transparent communication is the recipe for a 5-star mortgage experience at FSUHomeLoans.com.
Appeasing sound known to mankind. Sometimes it could be water running in a creek, could be a bird, could be, the soft winds over the plains, could be any number of things. But the ice cream truck, the faint sounds of the music emanating from the ice cream truck 3 blocks over as you're outside playing basketball is truly high on the list of magical moments and sounds. Because we were playing 21 last night. And as we were sitting there, I was like, whoa, do you hear that? Think about when you were a kid. You could hear the ice cream truck 7 miles down the road. I think I heard it. Did you hear it?
It is 2:15. He's usually around here.
But, time. I mean, it's awesome every time. And we have one that goes through our neighborhood. But she goes through several neighborhoods. And you can hear way off in the distance, the wind blows the right way. You're like, oh, hold on. Stop dribbling the ball. Yep. All right, hold on, kids. And then I run in the house, and I've got change just for that.
That's awesome. So I live in a pretty good family area in
no
good
ice
part
cream
of
truck.
None. None.
Yeah.
Never heard it.
Oh, we've
Never
got one
once.
painted up like the old school ones. Everything looks like a child molestation center. The whole thing. You see these vans.
I was wondering if you're going to talk about the other side of that coin.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That's always there, too. As you grow up, you're like, what choices did they make to get right here?
Yeah. Well, it's a toughie. This is a lady. She's elderly, so I'm always like, okay, I feel pretty good about this. She's just bored. So that's good. Maybe make a little side hustle, making some money on some ice cream pops. But
it's not a balding 6'2" guy named Pal.
It's not. No, it's no 37-year-old out here selling ice cream. You're like,
It's Pal. Hey, kids.
Yeah.
Mm.
Smoking a cigarette with a wife beater on.
Let me get the ice cream, kids.
Times are tough.
You stay there.
Yeah, you guys right here.
Listen here, dude.
Which one do you want? No. So I also like watching the neighborhood kids do what I used to do with all the other kids as well, is debate which of the popsicles are the ones, I like the Italian icy with the bubblegum thing down at the bottom.
Oh, nice. There's a bubblegum thing at the bottom of your Italian icy? Oh, that's cool.
Well, I don't think they're the Italian icy. They're the ones that are like the Italian icy container where you peel it back and you got the wooden spoon, stupid wooden spoon. Yeah, you got the
that's useless.
I hate that. But you got the wooden spoon and there's a little bubblegum thing down at the bottom.
Yeah, that flavor destroys it. Like there are some flavors that elevate a thing. Like, for example, a pint glass with a beer. The glass can elevate the entire experience. The wooden spoon with the Italian icy, no, it detracts from the experience. But the Italian icy should always be in your Power 3. It should be one of your most oft-ordered pieces of ice cream or popsicle flavors.
I agree. And it just as a reminder, yesterday, it was great. I heard the ice cream truck. I've never said no. I've never said no to the ice cream truck.
Really?
Not once. I will spoil my kids every day and twice on Sunday with the ice cream truck. If you say, Dad,
is that a pun with the Sunday?
Right.
Yeah.
You like that?
That's nice.
If you say, Dad, I hear the ice cream truck, or you come running into the house and you slam the screen door shut and you come in, I sound like Bruce Springsteen, and you come in and you say, Dad, the ice cream truck, I hear it. There's that desperation in your voice, that you have, like you think it's driving away from where you are.
The music gets slower.
Yeah. Well, do you also remember sprinting on cement and bare feet because as a child you could? But
There's
as a grown-ass man, you can't do that.
There's a sensation I haven't felt in some time.
And you never will again. You never will again. When is the next time you're going to sprint on cement and bare feet? Hopefully never.
Sprint, no. Walk on, hopefully never. Also,
it's not ideal.
Yeah.
No. But as a kid, you did. Sprinting. Oh, didn't care. Feet were tough.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's like our feet get weaker as time goes on.
Well, you drink out of the hose. It was the best water you ever drank. You sprint down the cement. You didn't have any problems. That's the way you did it. You handled things. But I will always fork over the loose change or the ones or whatever. I have a little jar.
I was always anxious about the moment when the pickup game was over. You name the sport. We played a lot of times flag football, 7-on-7, whatever. And everybody looks around at each other like, are we about to start another one? That was always an anxiety-ridden moment for me because the answer was always yes. I would always play another one. I didn't care.
Yeah.
If Mom said 4:30 and it's 5:15, I don't care. I want to play another game. I'll get yelled at if I can play one more game. So when everybody's trading looks, come on, let's get quorum here. We got to get quorum and we got to get enough yes votes.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I'll always play another one too. I'm with you. Really quick to put a ribbon on what I was talking about and did not finish because I got hyper-focused on the Bucs, which is a disservice to you. If you look at the winning percentage of opponents from all of last year coming into this season, it's not a perfect way of doing that. The Rams have the toughest schedule. The easiest schedule is the Washington Commanders. Also, the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know why they did that, but they did. And you go through and, you rank these schedules in terms of Kansas City high on the list of difficult schedules as well. The Bucs right there.
I would imagine that means that the Giants and the Eagles are around the easiest schedules,
right?
Because it's all division matchups. That makes up 90% of your schedule.
Rams, Cardinals, Bengals, Bucs have the 4 hardest schedules, and then it's 49ers, Chiefs tied at 5. So our schedule is considered tougher than the Chiefs, and the Chiefs have a tough schedule. So it's funny you can do it that way too. Like, even if you're like, oh, no, I like ours. And then you look at the Chiefs schedule. Well, winning percentage wise, the Bucs have a more difficult schedule than the Chiefs.
Yeah, this seems like a year. Again, it's not totally randomized. When you're going to face different divisions. You can look in the future and see when the NFC South plays the NFC West and so forth. But this feels like a year because all of the teams you're naming at the top of the list of difficulty are good teams, playoff teams. So this is a year that the wild card should be really congested.
Also, there's fun to be had with, you brought up quarterback play. All right, well, let me do this then, okay? If you're the Miami Dolphins and you want to defend Tua, if he doesn't win this year, you will no longer be able to stand boldly behind that assertion. They have a weak-ass schedule and a fairly loaded roster for him to throw the ball to if his pop gun arm can get it there. So we'll see. but they are 21st, 22nd in schedule strength. Come on now. And then the same goes for Jalen Hurts, who can't play, but the Eagles have the 30th strength of schedule. Them, the Cowboys, Washington, the Giants, you are correct, have the easiest schedules in football.
So they draw the AFC South. I don't need to look at it.
Yeah.
That's got to be right. You guys are drawing the AFC South this year. Yeah.
So if the Eagles don't win and win big, then you got a question. You got to wonder what's going on there, I would think. Yes, and by the way, AFC South, that's Titans, Jags, Texans. Yes,
because I'm trying to think, how do you get to the place where your whole division has the easiest schedule?
Yeah,
well,
you got to be playing the sorry-ass AFC South.
Yeah.
Texans, Titans don't suck, but and Colts don't suck.
Oh, well, they're in flux now.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan could be a boon for
I
him.
think
Who
that's
knows?
a big upgrade. I do. I think that, and listen, is he where he was 6-7 years ago? No, but is he a decent player? I think so.
It seems like it fits in the current trend, which is Brady goes to a roster that's better than he is probably at this point, even though he was better than the roster before. And he brought in the intangibles, don't get me wrong. It's just that
he also has moments in time where he wins games on his own, like
Correct.
the Jets game last year.
And he has moments where he looks like every bit of 40 whatever years old that he
45 when the season starts this year.
is. Stafford, again, a quarterback who's got some talent, goes to a better place. And then Matt Ryan, again, he's another one that you could argue that he's still got enough left in the tank, clearly a chip on his shoulder, and that roster is ready to win.
I got an interesting question for you because I thought about this morning when I was going through the schedules. Would you rather have, if you're the Miami Dolphins, Baker Mayfield or Tua?
Tua. He's
No,
earlier.
I'm talking about to win this year.
Oh.
That's tough, isn't it?
It is.
So my point,
because you're starting from scratch with the new offense anyway.
But also my point would be, if you can't decide between Tua and Baker Mayfield, then you know what you have. To draft a new quarterback. That's what you have. You have to draft a new quarterback.
Probably so. Like, I know what Baker is by now. There's been enough time.
Yeah, know he's not very good.
I'm still uncertain about Tua because when you hear the stories about the offensive issues under Brian Flores, I will allow for a small sliver of hope for if I'm a Dolphins fan, that if that's just as dysfunctional as it was, then maybe he's in a more healthy setting.
And here's the thing. I bring this up just for Dolphins fans' purposes. I found myself in the last number of years kind of having a soft spot for the Dolphins. It's nostalgia. It's my dad. It's whatever. But I will tell you that I don't have a problem with Tua. Tua just seems like a decent enough guy. I don't have a personal problem with him. I just, every time I watch the Dolphins, I'm like, ooh, that doesn't look like it should. You know, when you watch a big-time quarterback, even in bad situations, quarterbacks that are in situations where it's untenable, they're not going to win, they don't have the weapons, their offensive line's bad, you know, you can still recognize aspects of their game, physical features that you go, that translates. If he gets a little protection, he'll be all right. We did it for years with Matthew Stafford. We would see Matthew Stafford in Detroit, and you'd go, look, if that dude had some semblance of an offensive line or a running game in the red zone at all, they'd cash in some of these games that are losing close. He's got a cannon. You know, we would see these things. Turned out to be true.
So for this year,
I don't see it with Tua.
For this year with the Dolphins, the measure of success is playoffs. I mean, you're not going to run down Buffalo. At least you're not thinking right now that you're running down Buffalo for the division championship.
No.
But it's 10, 11 wins and a playoff berth. That's what you're looking to do this year? Is that the expectation?
Yeah, get to the playoffs. If that's 9 wins, 10 wins, whatever it is.
Because that division could be sneaky competitive. It could be.
So if we go back and look, if you wanted to do the off-season thing, which is what we're doing now because the schedule dropped, we always try to, from year to year, decide who's what. So sort of a pseudo power rankings like they like to do now. The Rams lose a lot from that Super Bowl team. Now they added Bobby Wagner. We'll see what that is. Allen Robinson. We'll see what that is. They lose Von Miller, Whitworth, the offensive lineman. They lose.
That's a biggie.
Robert Woods. They lose.
Boy, how much we look like children compared to Whitworth in that heads-up matchup. Didn't matter who it was.
Yeah, it's true. And we'll see about Odell Beckham Jr. and Darius Williams. And there's a lot that we don't know about with the Rams yet, right? So if you're doing those rankings, I'm just out of curiosity. Do you think the Buffalo Bills are the best team in football? Because I kind of do. It's them, Kansas City, us, Green Bay.
We're a betting favorite. We were like the betting favorite as of a week ago, and I didn't get that.
People have completely slept on what the Bucs did in the offseason, which is improve themselves.
Are we?
Yes. Yes.
Is our defensive backfield markedly better? Because that was a glaring weakness to me by the end of the season.
By the end of the season, I was disappointed. But
is our pass rush better? I don't know. I feel like those two things are still up in the air. And if you're trying to close a game, I mean, case in point, the Rams were throwing up all over themselves, giving us that football game, and we weren't good enough to take it. We weren't able to close. If you had a good front four leading into that game, Bowles would have never committed extra bodies. First of all, he never should have, because the numbers against the blitz for Stafford are crazy.
Did a lot of dumb things last year. I like him in the role of head coach as opposed to defensive coordinator right now. I really do. The Bucs are. Hey, listen. You lose an offensive lineman, you thought that would be the end of it for the Bucs. You replace him with a Pro Bowler from the Patriots who will do a great job. Okay, you bring in a very good number 3 receiver. And that's
a good signing.
That was a
Gage,
huge signing. Russell Gage is good, just straight up good, sneaky good. If Gronk comes back, the offense is going to be good, and they'll be a plus team on defense. They won't be great. They won't be dominating, but they'll be a plus team. Our number 2 forthcoming. Stay with.
Physical stress on our bodies can take its toll as the years go by. Whether you're looking to get back into an old sport or just want to spend more time outdoors to explore all life has to offer in our beautiful city, the dedicated team at TOC is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all your orthopedic needs. And now, scheduling an appointment has never been easier. Just visit teamtoc.com and click schedule online. That's teamtoc.com.
When you need a plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to have to wait?
Yeah, hey, it's the Millers again. Just calling you about our little plumbing problem.
2 hours?
Hey, we were hoping you can get here soon because the water is getting really bad. I mean, please hurry.
4 hours?
I know you said you were on your way, but, honey, tell the kids to tread water.
8 hours?
Don't worry about us.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service right when you need it. At M&L Plumbing, we listen to our customers, and our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing, your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or visit us online at mndlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
Dirty exterior? Don't scrub it. Wet it and forget it. Wet and Forget, the easy outdoor cleaner. Wet and Forget works overtime with Mother Nature to eliminate unsightly black and green stains on the exterior of your home with no scrubbing, power washing, or bleach. Use Wet and Forget on all your outdoor surfaces, including decks, siding, roofs, and patios. Wet and Forget's available in a concentrate or extreme reach hose-in. Purchase Wet and Forget in store or online at Lowe's, Menards, Ace, or Walmart.
Angie's List is now Angie, your home for everything home. With Angie, you could cross your next project off your to-do list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, and we'll handle the rest. Sending a top pro to get it done. Or browse reviews, compare quotes from pros, and connect instantly. All for free. For everything from routine maintenance to a dream remodel. Because however you want your project done, we'll get it done. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall. Featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show, live and local on Real Talk 93.3.
How it became a thing?
The middle finger in general?
Yeah, no, giving someone the middle finger.
You know this?
I think so.
I'm going to get the countries wrong and the time
So
wrong.
you don't know it. You don't know it.
He's got this locked.
When it happened and where, I don't know.
I
So
think,
maybe the how?
I think Britain's in a war with France sometime 300 years ago. And what they would do with French soldiers when they captured them was cut off their middle fingers so they couldn't use the bows to shoot, because that's how they shot people back then, was with bow and arrows. And so if you took the middle finger away,
I got to tell
you couldn't do it. So when the French beat the British in a battle or something, they all showed them, hey, we still got our middle fingers. And that's how it.
So by the way,
I'm gonna look this up during the break.
I might be 100% wrong. I just made that up.
I want to note something. If in fact that's not true, that is the greatest and most plausible explanation for something that you could completely make up.
Yeah.
And have us buy into that I've ever heard.
I might have dreamed it. I don't know where that came from.
100% accurate. Kevin writes, what's more likely, Corey's story about French soldiers lopping off middle fingers or Destin Hill playing Fred?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good
I'm going to go with your story.
Yeah, I like your story.
Yeah, what if Destin Hill shows up?
I think it's accurate. I don't know.
If he does, he should give you the bird.
Who would make that up?
Yeah, nobody would make that up. It's certainly.
There's all kinds of stuff.
It's a reasonable explanation because it doesn't make sense otherwise. What does your middle finger have to do with saying "f you" to someone?
Somebody's arguing that they may have traced this all the way back to ancient Greece.
That's what I said. It was England against ancient Greece. What did you hear? Because that's what I said.
Something about France.
No, I don't know. Who knows? It's somewhere over there.
My favorite people are the people that still make up stuff and BS, even in the age of Google.
Yeah, you can Google it.
Yeah, back in the day,
arguments went on for years.
Oh, and people could just make stuff up and lie and whatever. But now we have Google. You stop.
Yeah, I got into a big argument at a Braves game talking about the Mets Red Sox '86 because my buddy swore that if Buckner fields the ball, they win the game.
No, that's not
and
true.
I'm like, no, it was tied. He
It was
goes, no, it wasn't. I promise you. And I'm like, I promise you, you're wrong. But it was 1991. We couldn't look it up.
There's no internet.
I remember I was in college, and Life Cereal put out a cereal box with Mikey on it,
and they said he was dead.
But for years, we always thought he was dead. I thought he was dead from the time I was like 10 until
middle-aged.
They put him on the cereal box. And it's like,
they
what?
said he died from eating Pop Rocks
Pop
and
Rocks
drinking
and
a
Coke.
Coke.
Yes.
But
Crazy how that
nobody
sounds.
could look any of this stuff up. That was a universal belief. Every kid, you could take a kid from Oregon and talk to a kid from Pennsylvania about, oh, Mikey, that's terrible.
Yeah, and Richard, and you've heard about Richard Gere, right?
Yeah.
Like, how did those things start?
The world was a better place.
The Rod Stewart one.
Yeah, but it
Well,
wasn't.
I mean, the Rod Stewart one. We can't repeat.
These are all different
Richard
level
Gere too. But it's like
Yeah.
you hear these and you're like, how did y'all hear it? Like, how does that stuff spread? It
I
doesn't
remember
make any
being way
sense.
too young for somebody to tell me the Rod Stewart story.
Yeah.
So what are we? What?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's
It sounds plausible.
That's crazy.
I think if you Google it today, the FBI will show up at your house.
Builds, brakes, shocks, tires, oil change, you name it, they do it. And they offer a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty on all parts and labor. Most of the time, they can service your car the same day and offer towing to help you get to the shop. Now that's something to sing about. Open weekdays from 7:30 in the morning until 6 at night. Crawfordville Auto Repair and Tires.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
look at. I look at the ones where we're ranked. Not that it matters in regular season college baseball, but taking on our rival Miami, who we dispatched of relatively easy a year ago, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. Let's hope that streak widens, uncomfortably so for Miami fans, but they are equipped to do something about it as they come in top 15 in the RPI, top 10 in the rankings, 36-12, 17-7. It is a series that has always been amongst my very favorite across the sports for Florida State. This particular series has delivered so many epic endings, incredible matchups, bitter disappointments, the highest of highs. It's all been in there, much like the football series has. Baseball kind of very quietly usually sort of mirrored that, right? The big wins, the big comebacks, the big moments. It's happened for and against us. I love this series. It's the only one really that I still get intense about because they've ruined the Florida series. The Florida State-Florida series, which for years was fantastic. You hear me lament it every year, usually in the build-up to the actual day of the game when we play Florida, because it's so spread out and it's one off here, one off there, one off over there, midweek nonsense. Usually I'm apt to complain about what they've done to that series, but they haven't ruined the Miami series. Now, I would tell you Florida State-Miami was once better than it is now because there were 6 games that we would play against one another, and that gave you an awful lot of evidence, good and bad, of what you were, because both programs, more often than not during that 6-game stretch, were elite, were programs of major significance on the national scene, fighting it tooth or nail, my 1 versus your 1, 2 versus your 2, 3 versus your 3, and I'll see you again next weekend. It was always a lot of fun that way, and I can remember listening to Lee Bowen for some of those road games that weren't on Sunshine for whatever reason. Many of them were, but times they weren't. I remember J.D. Drew hitting 3 home runs on the road down there, and as a freshman, and just listening intently to Lee Bowen's call, rest in peace, Lee Bowen, and just being over the moon about it because everybody had talked about how good a player he was going to be, and he was one of those rare commodities in sport that lives up to the legend and then surpasses what the expectations were. When you get something like that, it's amazing. Jameis did that. Jameis was a guy that everybody knew if your school won his services at quarterback, there was a good chance. I remember a guy telling me, I got to give this guy credit, a guy in the world of recruiting. And he told me, he goes, if you guys get Jameis Winston, you're going to win a national championship. I remember he just said it point blank, full stop. Really? He goes, he's that good. He's that good. He's got a player that you get him, you're going to win a national championship unless he gets hurt. It's amazing. There are so few players like that, right? J.D. Drew turned out to be kind of that kind of player in baseball where people said that kid's a freak. I remember his first ever batting practice with a wooden bat. He hit one over the circus tent, and the other players were like, oh, okay. Got that kind of power at 18, do we? That kind of bat speed. All right. And and he lived up to the big moments, the biggest of which came against Miami. His brother, Stephen Drew, had big series against Miami. We've been on the wrong end of some heartbreaking defeats and some really memorable testy exchanges, near fights, 11 walking over to the other dugout. I mean, just awesome moments. And this is what passes through my mind whenever Florida State Miami gets set to meet. So setting the table for the game tonight, where you have an elite pitching matchup is exciting. And I get pumped about it. So we'll be watching.
All right. I know that you're a busy dad these days, but over under 1.5 games that you'll be able to take in this weekend?
To go over and watch.
Yeah.
I'd love it to be 2. It's probably going to be 1 in person and 2 at the house, but a couple reasons for that, but it's all right as long as I see the games. It used to be I had to be at every one. It's easier to be at every one when you're a single man and you answer to nobody. I'll go to those games and then get home when I get home. That's the way that used to be. And it's not as if I said, I want to go to these games. We're going to these games. We'd go to the games. My wife loves baseball, so that wouldn't be the problem. But, you get sleepovers and parties and end of the year stuff going on these days. That's another funny thing.
Who invited you over?
That's another funny thing. We're going to sleep the night at the Linnefelds. It's going to be movie night. There's popcorn planned. I know. Do you do popcorn?
In general?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You do popcorn at the Lang household. You guys are doing popcorn while watching movies.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. How about that?
As a surprise? You didn't
Yeah. Who the hell does popcorn anymore? I'm proud of you. I didn't know that.
Do you not do popcorn
Oh, I
anymore?
haven't had popcorn in 20 years. I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
No, I've had popcorn at the rare moments that I've visited the theater, the movie theater. I will say this. A lot of the cliches are true about having kids, getting married and having kids and moving into that part of your life. One of the things that does happen is all of that time, that discretionary, I can just fill my time with this, and this. One of the things that goes away is that you don't have a lot of surplus of that. And that means going to the movies, it doesn't happen. You just don't.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't get the microwave popcorn if you and the kids are going to watch a movie.
I never think about it. I never think while I'm going down the aisle, where's Orville Redenbacher? I never think about that.
I know where he is.
Yeah, dead.
But that, of course, also on a box,
Yes.
lots of them.
Yeah.
But my parents made it a big deal when I was a kid, so that's what they handed off. Was
nostalgia.
We would get the big gray bowl. It had this weird blue flower in the middle of it.
Yeah,
and that was the thing that
Salt
always
it up, would you?
everyone. Yeah, and they had like the weird oil stuff at one point, which as a kid you think is awesome. Then you get to about 14, you're like, this is disgusting.
Why are we doing this? Yes.
But we went with that
Not
for a
even
little
real
while.
butter.
Like, he's like, hey Tom, you want to watch the Ninja Turtles? I'm like, yeah, let's make some popcorn. I think he did it for the popcorn. He didn't do it for the Ninja Turtles, obviously, but it was for the popcorn.
I will tell you, great job, Gaskins. Popcorn with garlic seasoning, every movie at the Gaskins house. Pepper and celery salt for me. Celery salt. And then, of course, Gabe, good job. You're right. I remember when Scum stole the signs, meaning UM, and I remember interviewing 11 about it, and I remember him telling me the backstory of the walkie-talkie and them catching them, changing channels, and hearing them call curveball.
Now, not so crazy in the scope of what MLB's been doing. But yeah, at the time, that was really innovative.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There was a time in college baseball, a distant time, in which there were people who would throw at other people, but the rules in college baseball are such, they're very penal. And the amount of games you miss, if they can prove that you ordered the hit, it's significant. So it's discouraged, largely discouraged, because the suspensions would be lengthy. But we've had a few pitchers in yesteryear that would, got away from me. Sorry about that. Hit you in the neck.
A couple of important things for this weekend that Corey, and I discussed on headlines this week include, how do you manage your bullpen, which is something we're looking at very closely. Does Montgomery make an appearance this weekend?
As
and
a
if
closer?
so, is it the ninth inning? Because that would be the correct answer. How do you manage Crowell and Scalaro? And then with the at-bats, how nervous do you look? How wound tight do you look? You look in between. When there's a fastball coming, you're looking breaking ball or vice versa.
I think they're going to play loose. They may get beat. Miami's really good. There would be no, it wouldn't be shocking to lose to Miami. Not saying they will get beat, but they could. But I don't think it'll be because they're tight. If they get beat, listen, if Carson Palmquist comes out tonight and pitches really well and he's dotting corners and you got beat, it can happen. Same for Parker Messick. I'd say that about Miami. They're a real good baseball team, but if you're a reasonable Miami fan, you're sitting here thinking, yeah, Parker Messick could come out and dominate us. We'd strike out 10 and take them into the 8th. It happens. So, but I think we'll play pretty loose. They're excited. I talked to Mike Martin Jr. this morning. Reached out to him to get a sense of where they're at, and he told me they are very eager to get out there and play this series, as one would suspect, but he means he's had to dial them back. Like, they are ready to play. They are excited about this series. There's an intensity to this. You'll feel it. If you're going over to Hauser tonight, when you walk in, you'll feel it. It weighs heavy. It's always fun. And then Saturday's game, 7:00, Bryce Hubbard getting the start. Of course, Hubbard, for even his pockets of poor pitching, has been largely dominant when healthy. 7-1 with 2.69, going against Carson Lagone, who's a really good pitcher as well. And there's just it's just a good matchup. This whole series is a good matchup. So
it'll have the energy, and this is another chance, for all the failings that we've seen this season when not playing a ranked opponent. the Noles play well against ranked teams, but then also Meat's brief history as the head coach here is good in rivalry games. They know how to play them. They're wired perfectly to do that. And this group's got red ass just like he is.
Red
all
ass
about
for
him.
days.
That's what this weekend's about. That's what these types of matchups are about. And I like it when you play 3 in a row, not just because you want to see who your best are versus the Florida series, but 3 in a row. Familiarity breeds contempt. So by Sunday, these two teams are going to be tired as hell of one another, pissed off at each other, and that gives it the extra edge too.
Yeah, I would guess that that you'll see some exchanges, that there will be a kind of whether that's popping off at the dugout, whether that's somebody staring down a bomb too long, a flip of the bat, because we do it all the time. We do it and get under everybody's skin. So you throw in the mix that it's Miami. Oh, I'm sure. If Terrell goes yard here,
he'll do something extra. Of course he will.
Over under how long he stands in the box to admire said shot. I mean, that might lead directly to the benches coming out and have an exchange of words.
I would think he'd shout into the bench. It's right there. They're on first base now.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. You like us this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, the track record says in these types of settings. Also, it's at home. That does matter. It matters
in college
greatly.
baseball, yes, where the whims of emotion, kids are subject to that without question. It's not like pro baseball where it doesn't really matter at all. Really doesn't matter at all.
And I think, obviously you want to win when Messick's on the bump, but even if they don't, I'm not writing us off to not take 2 out of 3. It's just we've got a knack for these situations. Of course you want to win the first game. Of course
this is a big one though. Messick is a dominant starter. He has at times been unhittable. You want to win with him. The other guys have had their moments where you're like, even Hubbard, who I like a lot and has a ton of what for, but he's had stretches where he hasn't pitched well. Whereas Messick, that's the dude.
Yeah, this is a series that, I just wish it was pretty much any other weekend of the season. I'm not going to be able to take any.
Yeah, you're
of
out
these
of
in
town
person.
this weekend,
I
right?
am. Yeah, for a great reason.
Yeah.
A fantastic reason.
Yes.
But, I just, Miami could have been last weekend. That would have been great. But, I'm sure that place will be rocking, and hopefully we'll be hosting a regional, so it's not my last chance missed to go catch a game at Hauser.
Really quick, I'm curious where you're at with this. I'll save it. I'll carry it over. There is I'm guilty of this, and I need to stop it. I need to stop doing what I've been doing in regards to recruiting, because I no longer celebrate when a 5-star, 4-star elite level player ranks his teams and we're on that short list of those that he will be visiting and is perhaps excited about playing for. I don't do it anymore. That's what happened to us. That's what Deion Sanders ruined for me.
Just by himself.
Oh, solely, yes.
Okay.
Not shockingly, but yes, that's what
he might ruin a lot of things.
Jeff Cameron Show 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Tune in every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. for Great Southern Gospel with Bobby and Nita Key, sharing their voices for nearly 20 years, only on Real Talk 93.3.
Sellers Tile does it better for business owners, contractors, designers, and homeowners. Better design ideas, better quality tile, carpet, and hardwood flooring, better mosaics, ceramic, and vinyl solutions. And Sellers makes it easier with their amazing showroom and first-class professionals. Maybe it's time to get Sellers working for you on Capitol Circle Northeast, just north of Mahan Drive, or online at sellerstile.com for better style, quality, and design. Go with Sellers in Tallahassee. Call 656-8453.
This is Kyle, Service Manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry bucks to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186.
You were always more than my mom. You were my role model, my best friend, and biggest supporter. You filled my days with unconditional love. And you also prepared for the day when you couldn't be here. Because of the woman you were back then, I'm able to be the woman I am now. Your planning made this moment possible.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance.
your friends for life.
This is Andy Cohen. When I was a law enforcement officer, I devoted my life to a career of service and protection. Who's protecting you? Give me a call. 850-671-FARM. That's 671-FARM. Helping you is what we do best.
Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. Not licensed to do business in all 50 states.
Hey, Nole fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Choose Hearth and Patio for custom fireplaces, maintenance, outdoor grills, kitchens, fire pits, lighting, and so much more. Check out all of Hearth and Patio's options online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com. Hearth and Patio, they keep the home fires burning.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is sponsored by the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. Great rates, cutting-edge technology, and transparent communication is the recipe for a 5-star mortgage experience at FSUHomeLoans.com.
And I may be once again employing my friends at T-Spark Construction to come on out to the Cameron household. I think I mentioned it before, but I think in earnest, we're going to take out that back bathroom there and start anew.
There you go. All right. I was wondering if you're going to do like a little mother-in-law hut/suite out in the back.
Get out there in your mother-in-law hut.
Well, I mean, it's for visitors for football season.
No,
you could use that.
I would be a big room if I did that. It would be
you'd connect it to the home.
Yeah. I would knock out the back master bedroom wall and the bathroom wall that's aligned there, and I'd be like, let's go to work. Big ass room.
Because you've got space to do either a standalone or a connected
I
venture.
know, and I want to do it. And I may be asking my friends at T-Spark to come on out and do it. Travis, if you're listening, I know your work is exceptional, the best in the business, and that's why I proudly endorse you. And I especially believe that to be true when the work you do for me is free.
Gonna have to check and see if that's FCC muster passing.
It was clearly sarcastic.
You do have sarcasm protections by law.
That's correct. Speaking of T-Spark, for your roofing and construction needs, 766-1340. Get a free quote today, tsparkconstruction.com. Yeah, I want a big, I never cared about tile or backsplash or all the stuff that chicks talk about when you go walking around.
The backsplash game? You're about to...
I'm not doing that. No, but I never cared. But I've zeroed in on the kind of, I want a big old walk-in, like, I've said this before, you don't need a bathtub. Rip up bathtubs. Get rid of them. Antiquated, ridiculous, sitting there soaking in your own filth. Don't do that. Get you a walk-in shower, big-ass walk-in shower. I want to be able to, play 21 in there. Just like, I want it to be huge.
when we were at Iona, when I was at Iona for the one semester, I was lucky enough to be in that handicap accessible bathroom because there weren't enough people in the dorm to use it as needed. And that was, I mean, it was a dorm shower is what you typically got, which is like a little tube. I mean, you were just in a human-sized tube, and you've got to move around like a phone booth and find your stuff. But we had the one with a bench. I mean, it was spacious in there. We would use it as a sauna. We would use it as a sauna because it got cold.
So I mentioned before the break that I'm guilty. This is the definition of jaded, and it's the Hunter situation that ruined it for me. And I think it probably has for a lot of people, but also just knowing where we sit currently. So maybe, and I was never a recruit, Nick. Hence, I follow thekitties.com, and I'd have fun at the expense of all of that. But I saw where Shelton Sampson, wide receiver out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, has put us on the short list for the summer visits tour, if you will. And this is a 5-star, top 15 nationally ranked badass that's not going to come here. Not going to come here.
I just hear expensive. I don't hear impossible.
I hear impossible because he's from Baton Rouge and on his short list is LSU. And you read this quote: close to home, they're pursuing me probably the hardest right now. Coach Sloan, Coach Hankton, the relationships have been really growing with them. I already see the culture change with the new coaching staff. Seems like they're bringing the program in the right direction. We'll see this season. The only thing he says about Florida State is my old head coach went to Florida State, so that interested me about them right off the bat. I took my visit up there, and they treated me like family. Well, I'm sure. But that list is Alabama, LSU, Texas A&M, Oregon, whom we can beat out easily, Florida State. Nah, man. Come on.
Can we beat Phil Knight out easily? That's got to be more about geography than
that would be
check.
A geographical plus for us here. Huge. He's from Baton Rouge. He's not going to Oregon.
The thing is, unfortunately, he is on the radar of an Alabama.
Of course, it's over. No chance.
As a 5-star. Because LSU is not actually that big of a concern for me, even though it's tough to pluck kids out of their hometown.
You're not getting it.
Because that high school is right next to it. We've seen how it's set up.
Yeah.
The pressure is on you. But Brian Kelly could flame out this year, and that's not a crazy proposition. Like the thing we're all laughing about now, they might be at the gates for in 5 months, 6 months.
And
at that point, they would scare. You don't think it could be a disastrous failure at LSU for Brian Kelly?
I hope, but he's a good coach. We lose sight of that, man. He's a really good coach. Go look at those records and what he's had to coach over, right, to get around. Those are legitimate hindrances that he found a way around. Getting Notre Dame to the college football playoff is a borderline miracle. It really is. I mean, you got to recruit kids to that dump of a town.
It is.
That sorry-ass place in the middle of nowhere. And they really do have certain academic restrictions that don't allow you to get all of the kids that you would like to get in order to compete for a national championship. So, it's not surprising that when they got there, they got their head kicked in every time. They should have, but it's kind of shocking they got there, frankly. He's a good coach. I don't like him. He's not a likable coach. He's easy to make fun of because he does enough things to make fun of, including dancing around like a dumbass and then faking a Cajun accent. But all that stuff is while laughable and fun to point out.
Think about that, though.
It's absurd. It's absurd.
Faking a Cajun accent.
Well, it was really more a Southern accent.
It was South Carolinian.
It was South Carolinian. Yeah, it wasn't Cajun.
I do declare, not humano.
I'm so excited to be here as your head coach at Louisiana State University. What the hell is going on?
From Charleston?
What is happening here?
Is he confusing us with Fort Sumter?
What is going on here? Tomorrow the rebel forces will know what I mean to do. Yeah, it's something. It's an amazing moment in time, and we should all celebrate that moment, and we did.
But he might have to wear a couple of ugly losses in transition, at which point you're going to have less tolerance as an LSU fan for those foibles. Good coaches get fired all the time, to your point.
They do. I don't think look, he went there expressly to win a national championship. That is to say, they're willing to get down in the muck. LSU will do what they have to do to win a national championship. See the previous coaches, all of them. I mean, they're all winning a national championship. And so it's kind of like, well, even if they are the butt of a lot of jokes, and they will be, they're also going to pay for a lot of talent, and he'll know what to do with that talent. They're going to win a lot of games. Not right away, though. I do think that roster is in flux, and that's why I have hope that that is a game we can win. I think the two teams are eerily similar. That they will have holes in their roster that will be evident to all who go to that game at the Superdome. You and me included in that list of people, on that list of people that will be there. In what it would mean to get that win. It would be huge. Absolutely.
So I just looked up how old Brian Kelly is because, I mean, he's been around a minute now.
Oh, yeah. He was great at Cincinnati. Yeah.
So he's 60 years old. But the funny thing is that because he's getting up there, that would have been my point. But here's a better point. As I was searching for him, the first search thing in Google said accent. Brian Kelly accent. It didn't say coach, didn't say LSU, didn't say Notre Dame. It said accent.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun, but I also I don't think it's going to matter. He'll win. Let's hope that
he'll be 0-1.
We need him to be.
That's right.
We need him to be 0-1. And we've had some wars with that guy. Some games that really
when we had no business being in a war with him recently.
Oh, well, the one last year, sure. Yeah.
And even the COVID year, that's one of the better games we played all season.
It was a weird, well, we fought. We did. We fought. Now, they ran for about 15 yards of carry against us in that
That's
game.
all we had.
I mean, all they did was line up and run a simple counter, and we really struggled to stop said counter. And then, of course, the game you and I went to in Chicago, we stayed in Chicago.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had to go to South Bend.
Woo, with the flu. I was there probably, I mean, these days it's just kind of crazy if you say it out loud. I was there with probably 101-degree fever.
Yeah.
And 18-degree temperatures. We had put so much time into that trip. I was not getting on the bus. But now you think about that. I got on a charter bus with a bunch of people. I've got 101-degree fever. Now people will be like clutching their pearls. What have you done, sir?
Yeah, no, we all would have been like, Tom, you inconsiderate bastard.
You've killed them.
Why did you do this?
Well, this is the old school flu, man.
Yeah, that trip, no matter how bad that game was, and it was instantly bad. Instantly. 5 minutes in. Well, this is over. Will always be one that makes me smile because of the dinner I had by myself at that Italian restaurant in which I walked down into the basement area there and had a lovely meal in which I polished off a very good bottle of red wine and had a delightful conversation with an older woman who was hitting on me and made the mistake of telling my wife that.
Oh, how much older?
Probably 10 years.
Well, that's too close. So she was in her mid-50s?
She was a scientist from Fort Worth.
Don't say it like that. You say she was a scientist. Get away from me.
No. She was a scientist.
You're too intrigued by her. This is not good. See, this is why you got in trouble. Babe, she was a scientist.
She was from Fort Worth, and I'm
trying to take the shovel out of your hands, and you're saying, I'm just going to dig, man.
No. So listen to me for a second. This is crazy, right? I was unsuspecting. So much so that she had to be overt towards the end. And I was like, and then there was this eureka moment in my head. Oh, she's hitting on me. I had no idea. That's true. I was sitting there by myself at the bar, secluded, enjoying a fine meal.
That makes more sense too. You made it sound like almost it was a table for one. So I was like, how is it possible that this lady's hitting on you in a table? Okay, so the bar. Got it.
So hold on a second. This was I can't remember. I have the card of the restaurant. But I think I've told
Giuseppe's.
You this. Something like Giuseppe's. But I had, so I was, you were sick and I went to go eat and you said, I can't do it.
Jamie brought me some deep dish. I was very thankful.
You said you were down for the count. It was snowing outside. It was just starting to be dusk. I was like, I'm not missing this. We're staying in this awesome place.
Yeah, because I made the night before where we went to the Scotch bar, which was great.
We had a great time.
That's all I had in me.
Yeah. No, I was proud of you. I wasn't mad, but you were done dealing. So I go down right there in Michigan Ave. I take a right. I walk back towards where the restaurants and bars are, right? So I'm walking around and by myself enjoying just a light little peppering of snow there. I'm like, okay, this is nice. And as I'm walking, I see what looks like 150-year-old Italian restaurant. It's lit dimly. It's rarely faintly. And I'm like,
bottle of red.
Yeah. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, look at this place. I bet that's got to be good. But when I first walked in, it didn't have any character necessarily when I first walked in. And the lady came over to me and she's like, are you looking to eat? What are you looking to do? Because there was areas there where you could go and sit at the bar up top. And I said, I am. I'm just looking to have a nice meal.
Do you have a reservation?
Settle in. And she said, oh, well, you're going to want to go downstairs. It's beautiful. And we have this big mahogany bar that you're going to love. And I was like, oh, well, you read me correctly.
You said the M word.
Yeah. So I went downstairs and it was still early evening. So they really hadn't started to fill up yet. I made my way to the bar. The gentleman that was there as the bartender was very nice. I asked him how old the restaurant was. He told me about the dad who passed it on to the two brothers that are running it now. I learned the whole family history of this restaurant. It's awesome. I said, well, what should I have? And he's like, well, listen, get one of these two things. You can't go wrong, but get one of these two things. And so I did. And then I said, listen, and admittedly, this is a little arrogant, but I was going to treat myself on this night. So money was not going to be something I worried about. So I told him, well, let's pair this with a really good full-bodied red. And he's like, oh, absolutely. And of course, now he sees a mark. He's like, oh, I got a guy here.
We've been trying to unload this bottle for 10 years.
No, but he did the right thing. We went through and I had this wonderful bottle of red wine with my meal as I watched, I don't know what I was watching, football, I'm sure. But as I was sitting there, this lady, there's a big ass bar about.
Not just a lady, a scientist.
Well, I found out she was a scientist, which is just great. It's just cool. So anyway, I was sitting there. She comes and sits down pretty much right next to me. And there were, I don't know, 5 or 6 seats. And so I did not, it was kind of funny. I didn't even think about it. But then she sits down. We start talking. She asks where I'm from. I tell her. Then I asked where she's from. She's in town for a convention. She worked for this company. And we started to go through all that.
Enchanté.
And then as we're talking, it comes out that she had once lived, by the way, in Austin, and that was a talking point. Prior to that, she'd lived in New York City. Prior to that, she lived in Atlanta. And I was like, well, this is an interesting life. She mentioned her husband. I was like, oh, that's cool. She had a husband. Yeah.
Well, hey now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is where it gets
What's
weird.
the movie with George Clooney and Vera?
Up in the air?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she was up in the air.
Right. Remember that?
Yeah.
We found out she has a family.
Oh, my goodness. He shows up at the door.
Yeah. She travels all over the place, this woman.
What are you doing here? Oh.
Yeah. Great scene. But I was stunned, right? I had no idea. And this is what kind of good guy I am, Tom. I had no idea. She's married. I'm married. Nothing's happening. We're just two people talking over some good food. She's like, you want to get another bottle of wine? I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's get another
Oh, no. Oh, no. No. So that didn't click?
No.
No,
clueless.
Sir.
Clueless.
So you shared a bottle of wine with a scientist.
Yeah. From Fort Worth. And as we sat there and drank the wine, I was like, oh, it's getting late. And I'm like, all right, well, listen, good luck at your convention.
Did you buy the bottle of wine?
Did I buy it?
Did you end up paying for the whole bottle of wine?
I think so. I think so. I mean, I don't remember. I'm sure I did. I don't.
Oh, my goodness. This leads to a conclusion because Life Spectator has
He thinks it's a hooker or something, right?
He says you've been out of the circulation so long, you don't recognize a call girl.
She wasn't a call girl.
If you paid for the whole bottle of wine.
She may have paid for the bottle of wine. I don't remember this. These are insignificant details. I was not. The point would be, as we were talking, the only way I realized it was as I was getting ready to leave. I was like, well, it's a pleasure meeting you. And I was just like this, like I am, And I was like, it was a pleasure to meet you. I hope you have a great convention. And I said whatever I said. And, I knew I was never going to see this lady again. Like, have a great night, whatever. Thanks for the conversation, And our conversations weren't weird. They were all just very much about our jobs and what we. And so, yeah, I got up to leave. And then, she kind of invited herself to leave with me.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah, that's overt. That's not that's when it shifted.
Where are we going? Is that what she said?
No,
Where are we going next?
Said, no, she
Oh well, okay.
Yeah.
This now
No, it didn't get like that. It did. Okay. It wasn't like that, but it was evident at that point that she was willing to accompany me to the next restaurant or wherever it was. And I was like, yeah. Well, no, I'm going to go back to my hotel now, and you have a lovely evening. And that was that.
Did you give her a nice, graceful landing spot, or was it kind of abrupt?
I did. I kind of.
Or was she left holding the bag, and she's like, oh. Like she's got her purse in her hand and you just walk away. Like how bad was it?
It wasn't that bad.
Oh no.
No.
It was terrible.
No, it wasn't.
The bartender was snickering.
Oh my God. It wasn't that bad. And I love you, Rafferty. It was a funny moment. I'm out of practice getting hit on, man. I'm a happily married man. I just don't.
Do you remember her name?
I wouldn't say
the answer is no. Yeah, either way.
Yeah,
no matter what.
the answer is no, but yeah. It's truly a libations Friday. You would have. Now, what I'm telling you, I think you could have fallen victim to the same thing. You would not, because
who says it doesn't happen all the time?
That's right. You're
unassuming.
Kidding? I didn't think. I'm like, no, I'm not going to assume this. I'm not assuming this woman is hitting on me.
I would have just loved to actually, it would have been the three of us going to the bar, but that would have been a trip I would have loved to be on because I would have been like nudging you, like, dude,
this is not a good thing. Yeah.
You know how like, people in Baton Rouge, the guy just wants to tell you about drink specials. He's not talking to you about drink specials. She is talking to you about special stuff.
Yeah.
Not drink specials.
That story, the Baton Rouge story of the guy cornering me talking about drink specials is ridiculous because you left me in the lurch.
I did.
You
would have done the same.
In fairness, I probably would.
Absolutely you would have.
Left me in the lurch. I'm listening to this clown tell me for hours about at Baton Rouge drink specials. I'm like, what are we doing?
Now on Thursdays.
It's like, what is going on here? This guy. I'll tell you another place. And I'm like, I didn't ask. I'm watching the game.
I respect the hell out of him because he knows who he is.
Oh.
He embraces who he is. He's Mr. Drink Special. Ooh, I'm late. I got to get going.
Chris, in retrospect, you're right. Listen, you're right. The second bottle was my clue.
Should we get another bottle of wine?
Yes,
for real.
But I was just having so much fun. I got swept up. I wasn't thinking. I clearly wasn't thinking. That should have been, this isn't a polite conversation between two travelers. This is another level. It should have dawned on me. But I was a full bottle in. I wasn't thinking. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
The Florida Highway Patrol says 2 people were seriously injured in a crash Thursday evening on Coastal Highway. The crash happened around 6:07 p.m. and involved 2 vehicles, a Ford and a Toyota. According to the FHP, both drivers are Wakulla County residents. The driver of the Ford and the passenger in the Toyota were transported to TMH to get treatment for their injuries. The Coastal Highway is back open after it was closed for several hours. This is an ongoing investigation. The principal at Carter Paramore Academy in Gadsden County has been reassigned as the district investigates an incident caught on video where Dr. Willie Jackson is seen pulling a student from a table onto the floor and holding him down with his knee. The district safety coordinator is leading the investigation, which also involves the Florida Department of Children and Families and the Gadsden County Sheriff's Office. Administrators say they are not providing any details as the investigation is ongoing. Principal Willie Jackson has been reassigned to the district office during the investigation. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Scattered thunderstorms likely this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. Daytime highs approaching 83. Winds out of the north around 5 miles per hour. Isolated thunderstorms again tonight. Lows level off around 64. Mainly clear skies. Partly cloudy tomorrow. Chance for isolated storms 86. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 82.
You've heard the saying before, life is short, so why not savor it? Enjoy a chic and elegant dining experience in the heart of downtown Tallahassee with a vision for seasonally inspired and regionally sourced cuisine. Rub elbows with movers and shakers and cocktail connoisseurs at the bar and browse the carefully curated wine list. The one and only Savor brings more to the table for the most fastidious foodies. Relax, take it all in, and savor it. Online at savortallahassee.com.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
A woman only identified as Mrs. Wong posted on Chinese social media she had gotten locked down after a first blind date. She discovered that their date's community had gone into swift lockdown after visiting his house for a meal.
This absolutely has to become a romantic comedy. Lockdown Love. He was looking for Mrs. Right, but he found Mrs. Wong.
Lockdown. Starring Matthew McConaughey. All right.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
No, I don't, guys. I don't think I'll be in trouble. We've hashed this out because I brought it to the attention of my wife.
Yeah. Would you say in retrospect you wish you didn't even start that conversation?
Well, I'll tell you, it proves how innocent I was in the situation. I still didn't think anything of it, but when I told my wife, I could see the look wash over her face that she was not pleased. And then I did the funny thing, but she didn't find it funny. I was like, hey, listen, baby, you won already. I mean, you got me. She, you know. Nothing was going to happen, but don't you like that your man's out there in Chicago? And
no. No. What would make you think I am happy?
No. Yeah. It was funny.
I could be on that trip. I could have slapped her.
My point was that I don't believe that Shelton Sampson's coming here, Tom. I just don't think that young man is going to make it to Tallahassee, and I no longer get my hopes up the way I once did. I'm broken and jaded. I don't believe it. That kid could say, Florida State is the only university I've ever cared to attend. I will be there in the fall of 2023. I'm looking forward to being coached by Mike Norvell and winning a national championship for the Noles, as I've always dreamt of doing. Every day I wake up, I wear garnet and gold and work out with great vigor in the hopes to someday change the fortunes of Florida State University back to where they rightfully belong. Tweet that out, tweet it out again the next day. Post it on Instagram, walk through the door of every whatever visit you have with a Florida State shirt on, and I still go, he's not coming. He's not coming. That's where we're at. That's what happened with Hunter. That's what did it for me. And that kid isn't coming for real, but I just thought about it when I read the report because I wanted to see. I saw Nick Harris had it, the recruiting analyst for Rivals, and I read it, and I was like, oh, we're not getting him. I do that now with almost all these guys.
This is where the signing period moving up to August might help everybody involved. Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
That way we don't do the game with the visits during the season these days. Plus, there are large financial implications for all these players, and you could just say that now. It used to be wink, wink, oh, man, Hugh Freeze kind of stuff. But there are huge financial implications. You need to know what you have locked up. The sooner you know that, the sooner you know how much more money you have to spend between August and make it December is the signing date, or back to February, whatever it is. Then you could court kids on visits knowing what you have and what you don't have. But maybe we'll see the signing period moved up.
Yeah, there are going to be a lot of changes that have to happen before I can finally kind of turn the table there and begin to think once again in line of, hey, I think we're going to get that kid, or this looks like a distinct possibility. In the world of NIL, I don't know, man. Anymore, I won't believe it. And I think a lot of people feel this way. I won't believe it until they're, I guess, sitting in the seat at their first class, Florida State.
Even then, they have a good game or two, and you're like, well, let's just enjoy these next 10 because, it used to be that, and we do it with basketball. Sometimes with one and done type players or guys that emerge. Like
they emerge, yeah.
Fee was a great example. It's a discovery process. I believe we played LSU on Thanksgiving week. I think we had that was a tournament in Orlando. Mm-hmm. He had a good game there, a good finish. And then by the time that he's matching up against Zion for the first half against Duke, you're thinking, uh-oh, this could be bad. And then by March, you're saying, oh, no,
he's
bad. Too good. He's gone. And that was a dude who emerged overnight. In college football, it is for the third-year players, but now even for your first-year players, you have to think, he's too good for us. He's going to Bama. This sucks.
Yeah, but I also think that, okay, you can get, like, I'm not going to go and do the thing that, so what you're describing is, for example, if Azaria Thomas has the kind of year we think he's capable of, just physically, he's such a talent. He's obviously he picked up pretty quickly what they want him to do, what they're asking him to do. So there's this thought that if we get midway through this season and he's playing significant reps for Florida State, he's getting that many snaps, and all of a sudden he's the other guy across from Duke. So if all of a sudden that happens, are we worried the offseason means he's gone? Because I'm not going to do that. I don't think so. I think if you're that kind of talented and you were pursued by as many schools as he was, and you chose Florida State, I think you want to be here.
Well, at defensive back, too, I think there's a plethora of those options. So I don't know that that's a position. But let's just say that Florida State cultivated a tackle out of this class in a year.
An offensive tackle.
Like Armella.
My goodness.
Armella is kicking ass. It's year 2. It's his first year on the field, so he's a redshirt freshman, and he's kicking ass at tackle. And he's really good, like legit all ACC. You're not telling me you would sweat bullets in that moment, that there's not a big-time program who could use a tackle and is calling him with overtures of $1.5 million or some crazy number like that?
Yeah. I mean, these days I do worry about it, I suppose. But at the same time, it doesn't do you any good. And I do think that we have the kind of money, this is what you've been asking, we have the kind of money to either retain or recruit 2 or 3 high-end guys like this and be able to sustain,
on a rolling basis, probably 2 to 3.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 or 5 if we start winning some games this year and there's a windfall. But yeah, it's not 12.
It's definitely not 12. Yeah, no, there's always the possibility. And we're seeing it across college football. This is why we're waiting on rules and everything else. But yeah, I suppose it could happen. Come back, wrap it up momentarily, get to the probables that we have to get to, which is going to be fun. Weekend, that is. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue just north of Havana have become your destination for the best food either side of the state line. But what if you want fresh seafood? Say no more. Kenny and the crew have got you covered with seafood so fresh, the only way you'll get it fresher is if you grow a set of gills. Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue, 1 mile north of the last light in Havana. Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue, open 7 days a week. Get your fill at the grill.
Hi, this is Justin Colvin, founder of the Medicare Help Desk. I routinely speak to seniors who are overwhelmed by the multitude of coverage options available to them. That's why I created the Medicare Help Desk radio show. Tune in every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. where I provide clear answers to all your questions about Medicare.
Whether you're looking to get back into an old sport or just want to spend more time outdoors to explore all life has to offer in our beautiful city, the dedicated team at Tallahassee Orthopedic Clinic is here for you every step of the way. Now, scheduling an appointment has never been easier. Just visit teamtoc.com and click schedule online.
If you're an attorney who struggles with the balance of managing your practice and practicing law, consider Lexicon as your #1 pick. From client intake to billing and all that comes in between, Lexicon doesn't miss a thing. Our comprehensive solution combines best-in-class software and services to take care of your firm's most critical challenges, automating many of the tasks that take time out of your day. It's all about giving you more of your billable hours back. And who doesn't love more revenue? No more searching for practice management that works. Lexicon marks the spot. Visit lexiconservices.com to learn what Lexicon can do for you.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
To be important. The probables are set to go, Tommy.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching probables?
Brought to you by North Florida Payroll Services, locally owned for nearly 15 years, offering payroll and HR services, including full online applicant onboarding and integration into payroll. Save your company money and headaches today. Head to northfloridapayroll.com. Did you give me a time? Is that what you did?
I did not, but I can now. 3 minutes, 10 seconds.
3 minutes. Reds, Pirates, Tyler Mahal, and Mitch Keller. One of these days, Mitch Keller will turn the corner. Apparently not this year. Brewers, Marlins, Corbin Burns, Pablo Lopez. Astros, Nats, Framber Valdez. Josiah Gray. Orioles, Tigers, Jordan Lyles, Eduardo Rodriguez. Mariners, Mets. Oh, good series. Marco Gonzalez, Max Scherzer. Blue Jays, Rays, Kevin Gausman, Drew Rasmussen. Padres, Braves, Yu Darvish, Max Fried. We got Red Sox, Rangers, Nick Pivetta, Aiden Dunning. Guardians, Twins, Aaron Savelli and Sonny Gray. Yankees, White Sox, Garrett Cole, Vince Velasquez. Giants, Cards, Logan Webb, Jordan Hicks. Royals, Rockies, Zach Greinke, Kyle Freeland. Cubs, D-backs, Drew Smiley, Zach Davies. Angels, A's, Chase Silseth, fun name to say. Dalton Jeffries. Finally, Phillies at the Dodgers, Kyle Gibson and Walker Buehler.
Trapper keeper.
And that is a look at those that shall reside them up. If it is the end of a glorious run for the Tampa Bay Lightning, kudos and thank you to the Bolts, but may not be the end. Saturday night, we shall know.
If it is the end, it feels better after doing what they did last night.
Yeah,
like
4-7.
It would have been kind of bitter yesterday to give up another 2-0 lead and to lose one unceremoniously, like 4-2 or 5-2 on an empty netter.
Guess what you won't trust moving forward? A 2-0 lead.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you wonder if being so close to elimination maybe, put a jolt in their step. We'll see. They look very, very tired. So if it's the end, it's the end.
Noting at the AT&T Byron Nelson, where scores are ridiculously low, you've got more ridiculously low scores today. Jordan Spieth shot a 65. It looks like my man Maverick McNeely, who I picked up yesterday, shot a 65 as well. The leader is already at -15 in the form of Ryan Palmer. Jeez Louise, he shot a 62 today. This course in 2 days has given up a 60 and a 62. All right, then. Numbers are there to be had. Justin Thomas playing very well today. In fact, he is shooting, he's at 10 under. Yeah, he's on pace to shoot a 65 as well. A lot of people.
Did you see his numbers, his rankings on the PGA Tour for proximity to the hole on approach?
I did not.
If it's wedge, if it's short iron, if it's mid iron or long iron, he's top 5 across the board. It does not matter.
It'd be something if he could find a way to get a win.
Correct.
It's
everything but. Yeah.
It's just weird. Like all of the numbers say, yeah, that's coming. It's about to happen. He should get a win, but hasn't happened in a while. Good work out of you, sir. Good job, Director Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a great weekend. Go Noles. We'll talk to you.